We are going to set up the game on this mat that looks very much like a green ooze and looks maddening to play on.
Thanks for clicking on the video. And here on Nerd Mimic, we are going to play Arkham Horror, the card game, and we're going to run the scenario, the Blob that ate everything. So this sounds really fun, and I can't wait to get this unpacked and have a gameplay session with my daughter. Welcome to the channel where we talk about all manners of nerdy stuff, from board games to Dungeons and Dragons, comic books to toys, video games on Saturdays, and gamer snacks on Sundays. We also do monthly giveaways, and this is our current January giveaway for The Mystery of the Abbey, which is out of print and it's unplayed copy. So I'll put a link down below how you could win this awesome prize, and if you're watching this from the future, you could click our main channel page for our current giveaway. And if you do enjoy the video you're about to watch, hopefully consider hitting that like and subscribe. It's free to you and it helps us out on the channel. Thanks for watching. Before we do the unboxing, let's appreciate the cover art, which has a very interesting big greenish blob that seems to be devouring a town. So that looks very thematic. Let's flip it to the back of this case, and you can see that there is a little story here, but more importantly at the bottom here, you can see that this was originally featured at Arkham Nights 2019 as well as Gen Con. So Arkham Nights is an annual event where they just play Arkham horror themed games. So maybe one day we'll try to attend one of these events. We'll try to attend Gen Con later this year. It came from outer space. Investigators must contain and destroy the blob that ate everything in this special event for Arkham Horror, the card game designed for Gen Con 2019 and Arkham Nights 2019. In this unique scenario, teams of investigators must figure out how to defeat an extraterrestrial foe with an ability to devour anything and everything in its path. This scenario can be played as a standalone scenario or inserted into a campaign as a side story. It can also be played with any number of investigators in the epic multiplayer mode. But yeah, we're just gonna do 2 investigators, one for myself, of course, and one for my daughter, and hopefully you guys have fun watching us play. So the only thing left to do is get this pack unsealed, and there's always a clear tape at the top that we gotta get loose, which is sometimes a little bit of a trial. Okay, trying to pull the edge of it, and oh, looks like I'm having pretty good luck today to get this off easily. Let's see if I can flip it through the hole here to sort of preserve the seal. All right, so we got the seal off, and let's get this case open. I guess one thing I would say I don't like about this game really are these plastic cases. They're not too durable. They tend to crack and warp even just from simple opening. See if we could pop this open though. This one's pretty tight. Okay, there we go. All right, so we got our little scenario booklet here and a pack of cards, actually 2 packs. Great, and on the back of the cover, looks like it's just some addresses. And that's it for the case. So we'll set that off to the side. We'll take a closer look at this booklet here. We're not gonna read this entire thing out loud right now as we don't wanna spoil the story. But let's take a look at the front. It says the same thing that was on the back. And the expansion symbol is this meteor falling from the sky, but I suppose it is the blob itself. The inside looks like it's gonna explain some of the game modes they could use this for. Describing some of the components of Blob X. We'll sort of skim over that very quickly as I don't want to spoil the story. And tips for an event organizer. Okay, and looks like some of the setup. Here, the blob that ate everything. We'll read this out loud at the beginning of our gameplay session. Let's skip through this very quickly so you get a sense of what's going on. Oh my goodness, look at this playmat setup. So I might need a little bit more space than what I have here. We'll see. Reality acid. So I guess this will change up some of the rules, I suppose. Do not read until the end of the scenario. Well, you can take a look at this if you want. I will just close my eyes as I flip the rest of these pages. Okay, and here are the credits for the scenario. Next thing to do is get some of these decks unsealed. So it looks like this will be some cards that we're gonna put in the player decks, I suppose. Here are our encounter cards. Let's see if we could get this open. All right, got the shrink a little bit loose, and the card should come out momentarily. Great. All right, so this is our setup card and our agenda cards, of course our act cards. I'm just gonna flip through this very quickly and sort of glance at them. I just don't want to spoil the surprise of the game, but you could sort of see what these cards might involve and some of the artwork. All right, so that's a little teaser of what's going to come up next. Now to get these player cards out, let's see what they have. It looks like we'll have some encounters. Okay, got the shrink a little bit loose off this deck of cards. And we'll see what this pile has. But right on top, yeah, we see a creature to fight, an Oozeling. It looks like there are multiple ones. A grasping Oozeling, a cubic ooze. So we'll sort of flip through this very quickly. These are some treachery cards. Different types. Take a look at the artwork. Sticky feet. So yeah, a lot of different perils to be had encountering the Blob. And it looks like we got 4 special cards here. These are encounter cards. Yeah, that's what I figured. So 4 special player aid cards. So let's take a closer look at these. So it looks like we can use and find a universal solvent. We could get a pet Oozeling that might help us out. We got a Me-Go weapon. And we got a NPC in the game as well. So I will leave these cards unread. So once again, we don't want to spoil the surprise during gameplay. So that is, I suppose, enough of the tease of the actual deck. And the only thing left to do is get this game set up and have a gameplay session. So hopefully you guys have fun watching us. Welcome to our gameplay session of the Blob that ate everything. Before we get started, I'm going to mention some things I noticed during setup that's of note. Then we'll get to the gameplay session, and it'll be our first run through this scenario with my daughter. And then at the very end, we'll give our review of the scenario. So let's get started. When I set up this game, there's a couple things I noticed. First of all, there is no easy mode allowed in this game. Part of the reason why is the Blob, he's going to eat everything basically. And every time he eats, you're going to draw 2 tokens from the chaos bag. And based on the combinations of the tokens you draw, certain effects will occur. So you play easy mode, not all the tokens are in the bag, and so you can't utilize this table. So that is the predominant reason why there is no easy mode in this game. The other thing I noticed during setup is that this game does have cards that allow multiple groups to play at the same time. And these cards have an icon that looks like 3 people. And we're going to use a single group session, or basically a 1 group, and you will see that the symbol is different. So there are other scenarios that utilize multiple groups, such as labyrinths, and this is one of them as well. But once again, we're just going to play a single group session between myself and my daughter. Tonight, I'm going to play Roland Banks, and I have the card with alternate art here that we're going to utilize. So let me just read his background here if you haven't heard his story. And during gameplay, we're going to read every single card to really get into the lore of this scenario. So that's the greatest thing about this game, really is the story aspect. So hopefully you find this relaxing and enjoy. But if you want to skip to the review, well, you have to wait until our gameplay session and you can skip all the way to the end. All right, so for Roland here, he is the Fed. Roland has always taken comfort in procedure and rules. As an agent of the Bureau, he was believed to have guidelines to follow in any given situation. But lately, his federal agent handbook has been entirely unhelpful given the clues he's been, given the cases he's been assigned. Try as he might, Roland could find no mention of what to do when confronted with strange creatures, gates through time and space, or magic spells. If he haven't seen it with his own eyes, he would never have believed it, and there's no way his superiors would understand. Roland knew he would have to handle this one himself. So he set up his deck according to the restrictions there. And his special ability, after you defeat an enemy, discover one clue at your location once per round. The Elder Sign ability is to get +1 for each clue on your location. Everything by the book, every I dotted, every T crossed. It has worked until now. So the other hero we're going to play, Investigator, is Daisy Walker. That's going to be my daughter. She is the librarian. As a respected librarian at the Masonic University, Daisy has always felt that books were the most important thing in her life. She has explored in fiction what she abhorred in life: horror, violence, fear. Then she stumbled across the John Dee translation of the Necronomicon. It was blasphemous, unholy, and too awful to be real. But given her studies in obscure and occult subjects, Daisy knew there was more truth than fiction within the book's pages. She began to wonder what other secrets the restricted collection in the Warren Library held. And of course, we have constructed her deck based on the restrictions here. And her strength really is her intellect. Roland's is his combat ability. Her ability is you may take an additional action during your turn, which can only be used on tome abilities. Her Elder effect, +0. If you succeed, draw one card for each tomb you control. I know of books so powerful they can rewrite reality. So I'll put that off to the side. And then we're going to read part of the setup in the manual here. The Blob that ate everything. Incident report, 8L08, Thursday, July 5th, 1928. Blackwater, Massachusetts. At 03:12 hours, impact event just outside of Blackwater. Intercepted police call, agents sent to investigate, interviewed local farmer Ron Graham, claims meteor was several feet wide, greenish hue, crater roughly 100 yards in diameter, radiation detected in outlining area, recommend immediate quarantine and further investigation by research team. Situation under control. It isn't under control. That was a report the G-men took when they first arrived. For the next few days, the town of Blackwater was on lockdown. The impact was all that was talked about in the papers, but not much was known aside from the enormous crater and the effect it had on the countryside. No one was allowed to leave the town, and only those approved by the shadowy government agency were allowed to enter. Those unfortunate few included high-ranking government agents and a team of researchers from the nearby Masonic University, who were summoned to investigate the meteor itself. For the rest of the town's inhabitants, it was a strange occurrence, nothing more, that is, until the meteor hatched. I saw it with my own eyes. When the anomaly emerged, the first thing it did was devour the team of researchers that had been sent out to collect and study samples from the meteor. The next thing it did was devour their lab equipment. Then Ron Graham's tractor, then his house in its entirety. It continued to grow and spread, devouring everything in its path. I barely escaped with my life. When the army arrived, they thought they could kill it with bullets and shells. Everything they threw at the creature was devoured, one round after the next. Then it split into hundreds of smaller pieces of itself, and the army was quickly overwhelmed. While the battle raged on, myself and others back in town saw lights and shapes in the sky above, something up there waiting biding time. The quarantine still holds, and we're stuck in the middle of it. It won't be long before the anomaly has grown large enough to devour everything in Blackwater. And if that happens, who could possibly stop its rampage? So here are some setup conditions, which we have already taken care of. We have the location cards placed. You will notice that the crater is right in the middle here. We have a temporary HQ, which is going to be our starting location for our investigators. There is also a research site here and a fungus mound. And all these other locations are various different quarantine zones that we don't know what we will unlock when we investigate those areas. So I got my daughter here and she's ready to go, right, Emma?
Yeah.
So I got some dice here so we could use this instead of multiple tokens. And our investigators are at our temporary HQ. Before we reveal this location, let's read the story now. So this is agenda. The anomaly spreads. You were in the town of Blackwater when the impact event occurred. For several days, you investigated the matter until the anomaly emerged and all hell broke loose. Fleeing is no longer an option as the quarantine still holds and is strictly enforced. The only way you're getting out of here alive is if you can find a way to kill the anomaly, if such a thing is possible. Each location is connected to each location adjacent to it. Okay, and so we have to reach a doom of 6, and then we'll flip this card over. So for the next page, Act 1, expose the anomaly. Objective: at the start of the round, investigators may spend the requisite number of clues as a group to advance, 2 per investigator. And beware, advancing will expose the anomaly's weak spot. Be ready for a fight. Okay, so my daughter, you're gonna read this location, right?
Yes.
Okay.
It says,
Go ahead.
at first, few were allowed near this military encampment.
Yep.
A large black tent is set up in the center of the open field with eyes on the rest of Blackwater. Military trucks are parked outside, though the encampment itself is suspiciously lacking soldiers. You hope that the situation hasn't spiraled completely out of control, though you suspect otherwise.
Dun, dun, dun. Okay. So it looks like we're going to reveal this. This place has no clues. And we have to spend 1 countermeasure. And if we do so, we can heal up and get some resources, right? Mm-hmm. And this game set, we have only 1 countermeasure to start off with, and that's denoted with this dice here. Okay, so we have to decide who goes first. You want me to go first?
You can go first.
Okay. So before we do that, we also have to draw 5 cards. So we're going to draw our 5 cards.
1, 2, 3, 4.
And put back any that are a weakness and any that you don't really want. So you can mulligan some bad cards. I have a weakness card, so I think I'm going to put this back. And yeah, I think that's it. So let me draw another one, and I get this one. Okay, so this card I have to put back and shuffle my deck. Right, you gonna keep all 5 of your cards?
Yes.
Okay, that's fine. So you can lay it out. Oh, you got a knife, so that's great. Okay, so you can lay it out here. So, and I think we are ready to go. We have decided that we're going to go down since location's isolated by itself. So maybe that'll be a little bit safer. All right, so my first action is to go down. And then, why don't you read this card for me, please?
Very little of Blackwater has been left untouched by the anomaly.
Great job reading. We're gonna flip this over. Oh, and we find a bridge. So I'm gonna read this one too. Oh, yeah, there's no story here. It's just a action. So choose an exhausted manifold enemy at the bridge and test its strength. So that's something we have to do if that occurs. It says oozified. So I guess this card will let us defeat some ooze monster at the bridge, maybe dump it into the water or something like that. But this place also has 2 clues, one for each investigator. So that's 2 of us. And you're going to be the lead investigator to get the clues, right, Emma?
Yeah.
Because you have intelligence of 5. I have only intelligence of 3. It's not too bad. And I need a 3 to succeed. Maybe I just use my 2 actions to utilize that. Actually, one thing I'm going to do is utilize an asset here. I got a police badge here, and I'm going to equip this. It takes 3 resources, so I'm down to 2. So let me do that. So now I got a police badge with me. My last action is to try to get a clue. And the way we're going to do that is by using the app. Right, Emma?
Yeah.
For the standard mode, we're going to use these selected tokens in the app. As you can see, we have 1 of each type that will lend to that table I showed you earlier. So we're going to utilize that selected tokens. And I'm going to tap. I'm not going to commit anything for this because I know my daughter will be able to pick up the clues more later. So let me just try the first one though. -2. Looks like I failed, Emma. Okay, so those are my 3 actions. It's your turn, Missy. And I think it's pretty obvious what you're gonna do, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna go where I am. Okay, so yep.
Get the clues.
Go ahead. So you have a 5, you need a 3. You want to commit anything?
No.
Okay, and you have a flashlight here, but you only have
I'm okay.
Oh well, later on you could equip your
Yes,
knife. Okay,
later.
okay, all right, go ahead. So first action, or this is hard mode. Okay, and second investigation. Oh man, okay. So for this symbol here, it is a -3. After this skill test ends, the subject Blob devours each card that was committed to this test. But you didn't commit any card, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but you still fail. Wow, this is really hard. We didn't even get any clues that whole time. Okay, so the enemies activate, but there are no enemies, am I right?
Yes.
So now it's our turn to refresh. So what we're going to do is everyone gains a resource. It gets another card.
I got... Is this a weakness?
No, that's not a weakness. Yeah, it's inside there. But don't forget to add to your 5. Now you got 6 resources. And I drew an Elder Sign Amulet, a relic. So this might be helpful. Okay, I'll put this to the side here. And now we have to advance the dune here. So this is going to have 1 dune now. And we have to draw an encounter card. So I will go first. It looks like I got an ooze here, Emma.
Yeah.
Like our first ooze. Monster ooze manifold. Revelation. Immediately attempt to evade cubic ooze without spending an action. If you fail, spawn the ooze engaged with you and it attacks you. If you succeed, spawn the ooze at your location exhausted and unengaged. All right, so I have to attempt to evade. So my evade is only just 2. I hopefully can beat it. I have some cards here. I got Manual Dexterity. We'll see what happens. He got an evade of 4. So I'm going to commit my Manual Dexterity card to this evade. And I can only commit to a max of 1. And if I'm successful, I could draw a card. So my 2 plus 2 becomes 4, equal to 4. But of course, we have to reach into the chaos bag. Let's see what happens here. Oh, a 0. So it looks like I'm successful. Okay, so this ooze is evaded. He's exhausted and unengaged. So he's just sort of like chilling on this bridge. But we could defeat him. That's the condition to beat him, Emma. All right, so this goes into my discard pile and I get to draw a card. Oh my gosh, Emma. It's a paranoia, a weakness. Revelation, discard all of my resources. What was that noise? Okay, so from 3, I go down to 0. All right, but anyways, that is now out of my deck, I suppose. Did you draw an encounter card yet?
Oh, no.
Let's see what happens to you.
Devouring ooze.
Uh-oh, another monster. Revelation, test your evade or speed at 4. If you fail, well, hopefully you don't fail, okay?
Okay.
Right?
What happens if I fail?
Okay, if you fail, you choose an enemy, right? Item asset you control, and it devours it. If you cannot, take 2 damage instead. You are forced to look away as the ooze engulfs his body almost instantly. All right, so your evade is just 2. Do you have any cards you want to commit?
Can I do...
Well, I think we're going to be in big trouble, Emma, because this is standard difficulty. It's not easy.
Invade!
Okay, evade. This evade attempt uses your willpower. Well, your willpower is only 3 instead of speed of 2. Still better than that.
I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna use this card.
Okay. All right. So you got a 3, but you have to beat a 4.
Yeah.
You ready? Oh! Wow!
You see that?
Yeah!
You see that?
Amazing! Okay, you did it. All right, so let's see what happens if you succeed. Attack, treachery. Well, I guess you succeed. If you succeed, deal 1 damage to enemy. But anyways, he's not really attacking you per se. But anyways, you succeed. Great job. So you're gonna discard this card, and we're gonna discard this card. So we'll put it maybe on the top here, I suppose. All right. I wonder if I could organize this a little bit better on the table, but maybe put our discard cards somewhere well people can see it. How about I put this discard card on this side here? Okay. That way I could use this for reference without interference. All right, well, that was great job, Emma. I wasn't expecting that at all. Okay, so now it's player actions. What I'm gonna try to do, Emma, instead of shooting and fighting this ooze, which would be really easy to do as he only has 1 combat of ability of 1, but he has 4 health points. I'm gonna try to outwit him and toss him into the water here. So I have to use my intellect with that, which is only 3 compared to his evade value of 4. So I'm gonna commit my perception card here. All right, so that will make it a 5. And see if we could beat him. Okay, Emma?
Okay.
All right, so that's gonna be my first action. Let's see what happens. Oh no, it's a skull symbol. All right, so it's a -1 for every 5 cards the subject has devoured, and so that means it's a 0. Okay, he didn't devour any cards yet. So I do succeed. So I outwit him and I defeat him. So that's great. So we are gonna put this defeated enemy off to the side here. From what I understand, every little piece we take out of him hopefully will weaken the ooze itself. So I'll keep it up top here. All right, Emma, so that's my first action. Second action is to go here. And my third action is to explore this other location, okay? Or should I wait until you're free?
I don't know. Maybe?
Maybe, may I wait until you're free? I'm gonna draw a card, okay? All right, so, oh, I got a knife. So that's good. All right, now you got your 3 actions, Emma.
Okay.
So you are free.
Gonna get more.
Yes. So you're gonna try 3 times,
Yeah, one more time.
Okay. -2. I think you did it, right? You have a 5 and you need a 3. Okay, yeah, you get 1. Right, so you put it on your card.
No.
Okay, last action. Oh, what does that mean again? -3. Okay, so that fails
But
too.
I get 1.
But you got 1. Man, it's so hard. And we need to get 4. All right, all right. Okay, so enemies attack. No enemies on the board.
Yes.
We get to increase our resources by 1 and get a player card. So my resources go to 1 here. So get a resource 2. You're up to 7 now. And, oh, I got another knife card. Great. Okay. Want to draw a card that you need or want?
Another knife.
Okay, that's good. All right, so now we have to advance the Doom. So this goes up to 2. And counter card. I'll go first, Emma.
Okay.
Let's see. Treachery, replication, power, revelation. Find the manifold enemy with the most damage on it. I guess there is no enemy currently. I'm going to assume that nothing happens because there's no enemy on the board. So we'll put this off to the side. Okay, Emma, when you draw a counter card, let's see what happens with your draw.
It's got me.
Oh, it's got me. Hazard, revelation. Put its got me into play in your play threat area. So that would be at the bridge. Forced. At the end of the round, place 1 resource on it's got me. Then if there are 6 more resources on it, the subject devours you. Okay. Well, I guess that is if it's at the bridge if you're there. All right, so anyways, this is here, okay? And I'm gonna put 1 resource on it. So we're gonna use a dice to represent that, a 1 here. And when it turns to 6, it devours you, but I suppose at the site. Oh, you know what? Look at the picture. I think it's on you. It's got you. So it's not just the bridge. It's actually on you, Emma. Okay?
Oh.
In your threat area. It's not with the location. So it's on you. Okay?
Oh.
All right. So you gotta go to the research site. And if you spend 1 countermeasure, you could discard the card, okay? So that's very important for you to do, okay? All right, let's move on, Missy. And why don't we have you go first? Let's see if you could get this last clue. You want to do that? And then you could go to research. Research site is over here. So maybe I will go here and go here to research site, okay?
Okay.
All right, at least we have a plan of action now. So the first thing you want to do is get the glue. Oh, no. Okay, so this is a good effect. You get +0, but if you succeed, you don't have any tombs committed anyways. You get the clue, okay? So that's your second one. Third action is to just go back to HQ, I suppose, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yep. So my first action then, Emma, is to go to this quarantine zone. I don't want to go to the crater. I think that might be very dangerous here. So we're gonna go here. And let's see what happens at this location. Okay, so we reveal a church here, Emma. It's oozified. If there are no clues on church, choose an ooze many enemy at church or connecting location. Okay, but there are clues here, so there's going to be 2 clues. All right. And then my next action is, boy, that takes a lot of intellect to get that. Maybe I'll just go to the research center. So why don't you read what happens at the research center?
Okay, at the research center, it says, this wooded clearing is where the research team from Massachusetts University first began to study the meteorite and its impact. Now only a handful of scientists remain huddled inside white tents and toiling quietly to find a way to stop the anomaly from spreading any farther.
Farther, yeah. Okay, and we flip it around, and there are no clues here, but you can blend 2 clues to get a countermeasure. Oh my goodness, but we need clues to just advance the directive there. All right, but I am over there. Okay, so my first action was to go here, second action to go there, third action, you know, I want to equip a knife, okay? So I'm going to equip my knife. So I go down to 0 resources again. All right, Nana, it's your turn.
I'm gonna go here.
Okay, yeah, and try to
Because
get
I
those
want to
clues.
get clues.
Yes, excellent. Do you want to commit a card or anything?
Can I use?
Yeah. You want to use this?
Yeah.
Okay, so you get 3 supplies. No. That's resources, not cards. So maybe you don't want to do that.
Yeah. Okay then.
You may want to equip your flashlight, and then you could use your flashlight to hunt for clues better.
Okay.
Okay, so this takes 2, so you're going to put this in your play area. And now, instead of 7 resources, you're down to 5. And this has 3 uses, so we'll just put a dice here. I got an extra die. We'll put a 3 on it. So that's your second action, right? And third action is to maybe use your flashlight. I'm guessing that's what you plan to do.
Yeah.
And one supply, you get -2, so that's might be worth it. So your 5 sort of becomes a 7 basically, all right? Or this 5 and this becomes a 2, okay? It's a 5 versus a 2 to find a clue there.
Ready?
Yes. Okay, what symbol?
-5, I think.
Wait. Did we do too many actions? Wait, your first action was to go here, second action was to go here, third action was to go there, right?
No, my first action was to go here.
Oh, okay, all right. Okay, so you do play this. So this is -5.
Yes.
Okay, choose up to 5 cards from your hand. The subject devours each of those cards. You get +1 skill value for this test for each card it devours this way. So you still pass the test, but you have to... Oh, you could get rid of 5 cards, or you could get rid of less than 5 cards somehow, okay? It's up to you. So if you want to pass the test, let's see, okay, hold on. Maybe it's a lot of math here. You have a 5 versus a 2. So you could get -3 and still pass. So you can just sacrifice 2 cards, okay? You want to sacrifice, which 2 cards would you like to sacrifice?
I'll just get rid of this one.
1 knife, okay?
And this thing.
Okay, all right, so these cards that did ours, we're going to place it underneath him. All right, so we know he has swallowed up 2 cards. But you do pass the test and get a clue. So I'm going to grab a clue and put it on your player card.
Yeah.
Okay, and I think that's the end of your turn. Now, this is very interesting. If there are no clues on church, choose an ooze enemy at church or connecting location. Move that chosen enemy 1 location away from the church and automatically evade it. All right, so I guess that's sort of helpful in a way. Draws or pushes the oozes back. That's what it sounds like. Okay, so that's all of our actions, right, Missy?
Yep.
Enemies activate. No enemies on the board. It's our turn, so you get a resource again. So I'm gonna go up to 1. You'll go up to 6, and then you could draw a player card.
This?
What do you get this time?
Elder Sign Amulet.
Okay, yeah, you can put it in your hand, and I got Overpower. Okay, oh, so this lets me have a +2 combat, so that's going to be helpful. All right, and now we advance to Doom. Doom goes to 3. And now we have to draw an encounter card. I will pick first. Treachery. Reality acid. It's a power. Revelation. Subject 8L08 devours a random aspect of reality. Reveal 2 random chaos tokens from the bag and consult the table. All right, we'll see what happens. Okay. So I got our table here. I got an app. So Emma, why don't you click this twice, but do it slowly. We got a tombstone, and then when you click one time.
Tombstone and 0.
Tombstone and 0. So we're gonna reference this 0 and the tombstone. Well, tombstone was first. I wonder if that actually changes anything. Let's see here. It might. Let's see if it does. Oh, here. Tombstone, and there's no 0 with it. So I guess we are gonna utilize this one here. The concept of language. So the blob swallows up the concept of language. Until the end of the investigation phase, you can only speak gibberish.
Oh, okay. But you have to say talk because you're in the video.
Well, I guess so, but we have to talk gibberish, okay? Yeah, let's just play. Okay, so you gotta test your evade of 3. Okay, when you do that, you have evade of 2. Do you want to commit any cards to your evade? Okay, go for it. Okay, you fail. Take 1 damage for each point you fail by. Okay, so you take 1 damage, so you're down to 4 health. Yep. Jaws of slime close around you, enveloping you in alien acid. Nasty, right, Emma? Okay. So that is all complete. Now it's our turn to go. And Emma, let's see what you got. Oh, your ooze, by the way, end of the round is on you. Now it goes up to 2, okay? Why don't you go first? Why don't you try to get this last thing and come to the research site, okay? It's all dependent on what you do, all right?
Okay.
Oh, this was your card or my card? I forgot.
That's yours.
So you didn't pick a card yet, right?
No, I picked a card.
You did? Encounter card? I don't think you did. No.
I did.
You did? No. I picked this one. Oh, you did. You did evade, right? You failed. Okay, you're right. Okay, good memory. All right, so now it's your turn to go. So why don't you go first? Let's see what happens. Would you like to commit a card?
No.
No? Okay, go ahead and click. Oh, good job. You get it for sure. Right here. All right. Your second look action is to
move here.
Okay, and then I think your third action is to get rid of your treachery, right?
Yeah.
So you're gonna use 1 countermeasure to get rid of It's Got Me card. Okay. All right, so now we have no more resources there. Okay, so that was good, at least. Now, we have 4, and we could trade that in to do that. I think that would be helpful, right?
Mm-hmm.
We want to advance this, so I guess I could do that on my turn. So that'll be my first action, okay? To trade these in. Okay, so 4 clues are traded in. And we'll advance the act here. All right, exciting. If this is the first time this act has advanced, read the following. You have seen the anomaly's true heart. It lies beneath the surface of the ooze, pulsating with unseen power and guiding its myriad forms with inland hunger. You suspect this organ, whatever it might hold, holds the secret to destroying the anomaly once and for all. After hours of investigation, you believe you have pinpointed the creature's heart. Due to the way it shifts throughout the surface of its all-encompassing body, you know it won't stay at its current location very long. Then you will have to track it down again. Choose any oozified location. Spawn the set-aside vulnerable heart enemy at the chosen location. So we have a card here for vulnerable heart, I'm sure. Let's see where it is. Okay, here we go. And this will be at any oozified location. So I guess I'll put it at the church here. And I'll just put it below here. So massive, retaliate. X is the amount of damage on vulnerable heart. Vulnerable heart cannot be evaded and cannot make attacks of opportunity. Vulnerable heart cannot have more than 15 damage on it. All excess damage is canceled. So that's interesting because here the subject looks like might have 15 per investigator, so about 30 health. But this will be at least 15 damage. Okay. Emma, should we put the heart here in the church close to us, or do you want to put it at the bridge?
Closer.
Closer, okay. All right, good idea. All right, so that is there. But we need clues and stuff. Let's see, let me think about this. So Emma, why don't I try to damage the heart right now while it's weak, and you do more investigating, okay?
Okay.
All right, now let's read Act 2 here. Extraterrestrial physiology. The creature's heart is exposed. Now it's your chance. Forced. After any amount of damage is placed on vulnerable heart, place twice that much damage on the subject, the ooze itself as well. Okay, so that's good. So 15 would be 30, and that would kill it. While an investigator in your location is attacking vulnerable heart, spend one clue. That investigator gets +2 for its attack. Objective. At the end of the round, you must advance. Okay. So that means we might have to find the heart again, Emma. It's probably moving around. I think that's what's going to happen. Okay, we got to get more clues and clues again. All right. So let me do that. So my second action is to go here to the church, and I'm going to attack the heart here. I'm not going to use any cards to commit. I have a combat of 4 plus my knife. Okay, so that gives me 4 versus 0. So I think I'm going to succeed. Let's see what happens. This is my last action. I get a -3, but I do succeed, Emma. All right. So this gets 1 damage. Let's see how I'm gonna denote damage here. Maybe I'll put a dice here for now. I will substitute this 1 for my resource, and I'll put a 1 damage here. And then I should get a 20-sided dice and maybe put damage on the heart. But for now, let me just use a black die. 2 damage here. Double the damage. All right. Okay, so I am at the church. I hit the heart. Now, do I have to advance this? At the end of the round, you must advance. So it's not the end of my play, but end of the round. So Emma, instead of investigating, you might want to come here and just damage the heart to the best of your ability. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Okay, so what's your first action then, Missy?
I'm gonna go move
To the church?
to the church.
Okay. And you're going to attack, right?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe before you attack, you got a knife.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna equip the knife.
Okay, here's your knife. And that takes 1 resource. So now you're down to 5. Where is your 5 here? Okay, here's your 5. And now you have a 2 plus 3 versus a 1. Okay?
Okay.
All right, here you go. You could click. You succeed. Great job. Okay, so this now has 2 damage to the heart. Okay, and this has 4 damage. Okay. Enemies move and attack. Let's see, but I don't think the heart does anything. Cannot be evaded and cannot make attacks of opportunity. Oh, it can retaliate though, Emma. Okay? So every time we attack, it retaliates. So that means we get -2 health and -2 willpower. Okay, I think that happens to both of us, Emma. So Emma, why don't you take 2 damage to your health and 2 to your willpower?
Okay.
Yeah, so this is gonna be
And
tough.
willpower's here?
Yes. Wow, we are gonna need to get clues to heal up. I mean, that's the only way we could succeed. That's hard, right? It retaliates each time he does that. Okay. I think that's the end of our turn, Emma. And now we get a resource and a card, okay? So when you get a resource again, and get a card.
Here.
Emergency cash.
I need 6.
Okay. Get a card.
Emergency cash.
Do you remember what the upper limit of the hand is?
No.
I forget. Maybe there is no upper limit. And okay, so that is the end of the round. So at the end of the round, now we have to advance the story, okay? Let's see what happens. I'm sure the heart moves. Mere minutes after its exposure, the pulsating heart retreats back inside the creature's vast body. You have to wait for it to re-emerge in order to harm it once more. Remove all damage from the vulnerable heart and set it aside out of play. The amount of damage that is removed from the vulnerable heart in this way is X. If X at least is 1, all around you, the anomaly reels back for a moment. Then it erupts into the sky in a massive geyser of anger and hate. You duck for cover as gobs of ooze slam into the ground all over the city, splitting into even more sentient masses. Shuffle the encounter discard pile into the encounter deck and discard cards from the top until a manifold enemy with a total of X health have been discarded. One at a time in random order, spawn each of those enemies in different ooze-fied locations. Oh my goodness, this sounds difficult. Okay, so I have to take the discard pile here and shuffle it into the encounter deck. And it has a 2 that we removed. So we have to get cards until we find enemies with 2. 2 health, equivalent to. All right, so this one does. This has like a 3. and one at a time spawn them in different random order. So oozify locations, random order. So I'll just let the card fall. All right, I guess it's gonna go here. All right. All right, so I guess this gets placed in the bottom. Put it on counter deck here. And then I guess we have to go back to Act 1. But let's see. We have to read this card. Blackwater's Bane. You may have managed to finally harm the creature directly, but in doing so, you caused it to split even further. Each ooze enemy gains retaliate and loses the Blob X keyword. Objective. At the end of the round, you must advance. Okay? This scenario will not end when this act advances. So I guess later on we'll go back to Act 1. Okay. Very, very, very interesting. But it gains retaliate. Okay, Emma. Let's also read here. Subject report 8L08B. 1846 hours. Recover subject sample for further study. Subject appears to share the same physiology qualities as 8L08, but acts with its own sentience. The pH levels observed in subject are similar to those found in 8L08. Report continues on the next page. Okay, so let me put this at the bottom here. I have a feeling we're going to use this card again. All right, so this heart goes away. Save it for next time. That was the end of the round, Emma. Now we have to advance Doom. So this goes up to 4. And now we have to do an encounter card. I will draw an encounter card. Oh no, Emma, look what I got.
What?
It's got me.
It's got
Uh-oh. Yep, I might be in trouble. Because we have no more countermeasures right now. All right. Boom. 1. All right, so it's our play action. Oh, you have to draw an encounter card. I forgot. Why don't you draw an encounter card as well?
replication.
Replication. All right, so we do have an enemy on the board right now. This one here. Find enemy on with the most damage. This has no damage, but take that. Discard cards from the top until you find another enemy with equal or lower printed health that is discarded. Okay. Spawn that enemy at the same location, then distribute damage to both enemies. Okay. Well, first of all, there is no damage on it. So maybe nothing replicates because there's not damage. I'm gonna assume that's the case, but I hope so because this scenario looks difficult already. So I'm gonna set this aside. Okay, Emma. All right, so it's our 3 actions. We gotta find more clues somehow. And if there are no clues on the church, choose a Ooze enemy, a church or connected location. Move it away. I don't want to move him. Okay, so I'm gonna use my first action to go here. Second action is to go to this other oozified location, okay? And it looks like we are at the sewer. This is gonna have 2 clues. And then we could test our intellect here. If you succeed, move to a location up to X connections away from sewer. So I guess it's a way to travel throughout the map. These sewers intersect throughout Blackwater. Though you would not relish the journey, you could use the passages to move unhindered from one section of the town to another. So that's pretty cool, but it is off to the side. All right, so that is my action there. We're gonna put 2 clues there, Emma. I'm gonna try to, oh, look, it has a shroud value of 5. I don't think I could get that. Yeah, there's no way. This police badge gives me willpower, but it doesn't allow me to do more. All right, so I'm gonna have to reveal a different location. So that was my first action. Second action, you know, my third action, Emma, is to just go to this other location here, okay? I'm gonna flip it over, and we got an oozy lake bed. Oh my goodness, there's no clues here. After a manifold enemy spawns in oozy lake bed, place 1 clue. That enemy cannot take damage this round. Forced. Okay. So this is something that'll happen once an enemy spawns there, but it doesn't actually bring in an enemy. So I guess that is it for my actions. So Emma, it's your 3 actions now. The only clues I were able to reveal are here.
Okay.
There's 2 of them, and there's a 5. Okay, so it's gonna be tough. All right, so what's your first action?
I'm gonna go here.
Okay.
Then go here.
Okay, second action. And third action.
I'm just gonna go.
Are you gonna commit a card? Or yes or no?
No.
No. You know, I can help you with a card. Do you want me to help you with a card maybe? Yes, no?
No, it's so.
All right, then click away. Good luck. You are always so lucky, Missy. Congratulations. Went and grab a clue there. Okay. So, let's see here. I think that's the end of your player actions, right? And then everyone gets a resource and gets a new card. So when you do that, Emma, get a new resource and a card.
Okay.
I got a flashlight here.
It's a person.
Okay, so this could be very, very helpful. You get +1 to your intellect, so that's definitely something you want to equip, okay?
Okay.
All right, yeah, he's super helpful. All right, so I got 7 cards in my hand, and the max is 8, so I'm still okay for now. That is the end of the round. So a couple things are gonna happen. First of all, my It Got Me is gonna get worse. All right, so this is gonna go up to a 2. The other thing that's gonna happen is maybe some enemies might move. No, that's not it. It's this act. So at the end of the round, we have to advance. So if this is the first time reading this act, read the following. Throughout your struggles, the alien presence has watched your progress with curiosity. Now, they descend from orbit in order to hatch their plot. Shuffle each of the set-aside Me-Go drone enemies into the counter deck, along with the encounter discard pile. So we have multiple cards here. These drone cards. It looks like there are 3 of them. Okay. We're going to take our discard pile and put it into the counter deck. Let's sort of space it out apart roughly. Okay. Okay, that's shuffled up. We also got to read more. As the hours pass, the ooze seeps back into the ground and lies dormant once more. Place one clue on each revealed Oozify location to a maximum of its clue value. Okay, place one per investigator to the maximum of its clue value. The lead investigator chooses a random set-aside story card and draws it, resolving the side with a part 1 trait. Reset the act deck to act 1. All right, so we have multiple story cards, and we will pick one of these at random. We'll just start with the top one. I'll do that in a sec, but we have to put clues. So this is how we're going to add more clues. So place one clue per investigator on each revealed. So that would be another 2 clues here. Another 2 clues here. To the maximum of its clue value. So this maximum is 0, so you can't have any clues here or here. And then I guess it will put another clue here as well. Okay, and no clues here because that max is 0. I think that is it. So we got to read one of these. So more story here. Rescue the chemist. When the anomaly emerged, the first thing the researchers did was try to find a way to dissolve the ooze composing its body. One of the chemists was on the verge of a breakthrough, but she recently disappeared. She was last seen attempting to collect samples in a dangerous section of the quarantine zone. If you could reach her, perhaps you can assist her. So yeah, that's probably going to be that solvent. All right, revelation. Spawn the set-aside Migo abductor at the fungus mound. Okay, set aside the universal chemist asset into play at the location furthest from the investigators. Put this card in play next to the act deck. Okay, if after investigator who controls the universal chemist enters the headquarters, okay, we got to do that. If the chemist is defeated or devoured, okay, so those are some conditions. Okay, so we got our universal chemist, and they will spawn at the location first from the investigator. So I guess that would be way across here, okay? And then we want our Migo abductor, so I think that's the gun. Let's see if I can find that card. Oh, it's not a gun. It's an elite enemy. So this is going to be at the fungus mound there. Okay, while Migo abductor is ready against forced at the start of the enemy phase, if the abductor is that chemist location, deals 1 direct damage to it. Otherwise, move the abductor once towards the location. So he's going to look for the chemist here. All right, that sounds very interesting, very compelling. Right, I'm going to put this story card here. Very cluttered with all of our cards. Very cool. Now I'm going to set this Act 3 behind, and we're going to restart basically at Act 1. Why, this is going to be a long round. I don't even know how they played this at Gen Con with a limited time, unless you're going to be there for 4 hours or something, Emma. Okay, so yeah, next thing we're going to do is at the top of the round, increase our doom. All right. And we have to draw from the encounter card. So let me do that right now. Oh, I got a drone here right away. Spawn on the location with the most clues. Well, none, they're equal. All right, so maybe I'll put it with you, Emma, at the sewer. At the start of the enemy phase, if the drone is ready, move 1 clue from Joe's location to... All right, so we sort of want to defeat it so he doesn't bring all the clues to the fungus mound, okay? only takes 1 damage. Okay, when you draw an encounter card, let's see what happens with your draw.
Okay.
Yeah, this looks like a hard scenario.
Sticky feet.
Sticky feet. Okay, revelation. Attached to the nearest oozified location, which is you. As an additional cost to enter or leave the location, you must spend action. All right. I just bought those shoes. Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna put it here as well, okay? So let me go first. I'm gonna go to your location, help defeat this drone for you, okay? So I am gonna go down here and go here to the sewer where you are, okay? My last action is to attack this drone. He has a 3, I have a 4, plus my knife is 1. So that makes it a +1 advantage. Gosh, I'm just gonna go for it, okay, Emma?
Okay.
I'm not gonna add anything to it. Hopefully it is enough. All right, here we go. 0, I did it, okay? All right, so this drone is knocked out, okay? So we're gonna put this in this card pile here. Now my feet are sticky with you, but you got 3 actions. I don't know, Emma, if you want to waste your time trying to get the clues there when there are 2 clues down here, a lot easier. What do you think? So these clues are 5, these are 4, and these are 3.
But these will.
But you're here, you're here, so you have to go here and here, and you got sticky feet. So it's gonna take 2 actions to go here, and then 1 action here. It might be worth it, or just.
I'm not gonna stay here.
You're gonna stay there?
Yes.
Okay. Are you gonna commit any cards?
No.
No. You do have your you got your flashlight.
Oh wait. Oh yeah.
Want to use 1
Yeah,
charge?
I forgot.
Okay, 1 charge then.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Good luck. Here we go. Oh, no. Okay. Wait. So this is a -5. Oh, so this is the same situation you had last time, right? A 5 versus a 3. So you would get -5. You would need to get rid of 3 cards, Emma, I believe. Okay, so 5 equals 0 basically, okay? You need to get rid of 3 cards if you want to get a clue. You want to get rid of 3 cards? You probably don't need the emergency cache. These are pretty easy to get rid of.
Yeah.
Okay. What other card would you like to pick?
Maybe this.
Okay, go ahead. All right, so when you get 1 clue, okay, you can pick up your clue right there. Oh, and don't forget, when you use this guy, you get a +1 to your thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you can't get a clue right now, but at least, or yeah, you could equip it. You have 3 actions.
I'll equip it.
Equip it, right? So 4 resources. So now you're down to 2.
2?
Mm-hmm. So these are all of your equipments. Yep. Let's organize this a little bit nicer. Yep. All right. Now you could click again. Oh, you got it. Good job. You had that clue.
That's
all right. Yeah, those are your 3 actions. All right. Whew. All right. That could have been worse.
Could have been very worse.
Could have been very worse. Now it is enemy's turn to go. So this abductor, he's gonna go here. Okay, he's hunting for the chemist. So that's gonna be my next action, to try to fight that guy. I think that's it, Emma. Now we are gonna get a resource and a new card. Okay, so I'm gonna do that right now. Get a new resource and card. Oh, I found my special weapon. All right, so that's something I'd equip, okay? Oh, great. You got a research librarian to help you out. Okay, so that's good too.
Okay.
After research librarian enters play, search your deck for a tome asset and add it to your hand. So yeah, tomes are your power. Boy. Okay, now it is the end of the round, and that means my It Got Me goes up to 3. I am in trouble. Okay, this Doom goes up to 6, and now it escalates. So let's read what happens here. From the center of the crater, a ley line of glowing ooze worms its way underground. Cracks appear in the ground throughout the town, like tendrils reaching out to stake their claim on black water. It is as though the creature is rooting itself into the earth as it grows. Will the world ever truly get rid of it? Choose 2 oozified locations other than the crater without a copy of the vulnerable heart. Subject 8L08 devours both of those locations, along with all non-ooze cards in those locations. Ooze enemies are instead discarded. All right. So choose 2 ooze locations, and you can't take away a location that would cause a location to dead end. So for example, can't take away this one, then that would be trapped. So 2 ooze, I guess that would be the bridge here, along with all known ooze cards or locations. So well, obviously we don't want to pick where we are, or we'll get oozified and lost. Oh, I guess we could take away this one. We don't really need this one. So this is a good one to lose. And maybe we lose the church, Emma.
Okay.
But if we go to church, I can move that other guy away. Oh, that's hard. This one's so far away. The clues are easier to get. All right, well, we'll just get rid of the church here. Okay. All right, so no more clues here, unfortunately. So these 2 locations get devoured. Okay. Shuffle 1 set aside cubic ooze and 1 set aside grasping ooze card. Okay, so I do have those cards here off the side. 1 grasping ooze, 1 cubic ooze card into the counter deck along with the counter discard pile. Okay, so we have to take these cards. This me drone that we discarded already. Now we have to put it in here and shuffle the deck again. Oh my goodness. All right, so that is done. We're going to read the next page. The anomaly swells. The creature from inside the meteorite continues to digest a black water hole. By day 2, nearly all of the town is covered in vibrant green slime. Acid slowly eats away at the buildings, the streets, even the dirt. Will it ever cease? Each location is connected to each location adjacent to it. All right, now it's time to draw a counter card. With all that badness, we still have to draw a counter card. So I will go first again, Emma. And it's a cubic ooze. Revelation. Immediately attempt to evade cubic ooze without spending action. It has a 4, and I have a 2. I think I'm gonna fail. And I don't have any dexterity, manual dexterity cards. I do have some other ones, but I don't know about using it. I will not. And there's no +2 on the card. If I fail, it's engaging me and it'll attack me, so I'll get 2 damage. Maybe I should commit at least 1 card, but the only thing with it, That is this one. Maybe I could use, I was hoping to use one of these cards for combat, for the heart. So I think I do want to save it. All right, I'm just going to go for it. Click. All right, so -1 for every, okay, so I basically fail. So I'm going to get some damage, 2 health. So I'm down to 5 health. And it's engaged with me here. All right. Your turn to get an encounter card, please.
Okay.
Yeah, I know this game is running long, Emma.
Spin out.
Oh no. All right. Spawn nearest Oozified location. It's a hunter. All right, well, the next Oozified location is our location, right? Forest. After you perform an attack against Grasping Ooze using a melee card, the blob will eat that card. All right, so we got multiple enemies here. I don't know if we could survive this in nearest Ooze, not on our location, okay? So let's put it here, okay? Let's put it on the crater. Okay, okay, our turn to go. I guess the first thing I gotta do, Emma, is I gotta fight this cubic ooze. Now, if I use my knife, I wanna get 1 damage per attack, but maybe I could throw my knife at the last attack and do 4 damage. We'll see. Okay, so I'm gonna just attack him. I got a 4 plus 1 is 5 versus it's 1. So I'm just gonna attack it 3 times, okay, Emma?
Okay.
So first attack, okay, it's a hit. So that's 1 damage. Second attack, it's a skull. It's a minus for every 5 cards it devours. So how many cards did it devour so far? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 7 cards. Okay, so that's -1. So I do succeed in attacking it. So it gets 2 damage. Third attack is this symbol, -2. If this token is revealed during an attack on an enemy, oh, it retaliates. Okay, so I do hit it and it gets 3 damage, but it retaliates. And then that means I get 2 more damage. I'm down to 3. Oh my goodness. I have my gun, but it's not going to really help me out. This is just a +1 enemy. Wait, maybe I could quit my gun and just chuck my knife and get rid of it all at once, okay? That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to chuck my knife. And it's a -1. Okay, so I do hit it and kill it. Okay, I lose my knife though. So this is discarded. This enemy is now knocked out. And okay, no more enemies there, Emma. Okay, you are free to go, Emma. So we might need a counter resource, but we also need clues to advance the story and reveal the heart. It's a very tough decision. I'll leave it up to you what you want to decide, but this is where we would get a counter resource. You had to spend 2 clues to get there. All right. What's your first action?
I don't know.
Well, I think the first thing to do is leave with sticky feet. Okay. And actually, you know what? You could test your intellect and just go straight. You could go fast to another location. Maybe just do that. And
Okay.
Because just test your intellect and just goes instantly there.
Okay.
Want to try that? So you would need a 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Okay. You want to equip anything to that challenge? Probably not, I guess. Your intellect is 5. -3. Okay, 5 minus 3 is 2. So you can move 2 away. And that takes 2 actions. So I guess that was worth it. So that would make you 1, 2, right here at the crater. And when you're at the crater, you have to read it. Oh no, Oh no, if you do that, you will be here at the ooze. Do you want to be stuck there at the ooze, Emma? I don't think you want to do that.
No.
So maybe just stop here then at the research site? And then you could test your, well, you're stuck here though. What do you think? You have only one action left.
Maybe I would use 2 clues.
Okay, to make a countermeasure?
Yeah.
All right, so you could give me 2 clues.
Ching,
Ching ching. And we will put a countermeasure token back in here. All right, so, well, this is gonna be tough. I can't, well, I could travel by the sewers, but I don't think I'm gonna be as good as you. That's very doubtful, so I'm gonna just use 2 actions to get out of here. Okay, my third action is to stay here with you and to equip my gun, okay? All right, that takes 3 resources, so I'm down to 1. And this is gonna have 4 bullets. So let's get a 4-sided dice, just put it right there. And those are our actions. Okay, now it's time for the enemy to activate. I don't think we were gonna able to rescue this chemist. Okay, so this alien is gonna go here, move here, and this alien is gonna go here. He's hunting us, so he's gonna go here. Now it's time to do our upkeep, Emma. Everyone gets a resource and a new card. So when you do that as well.
Okay.
I got a bulletproof vest I could utilize. That's gonna be helpful.
Flashlight again.
Okay, great. And now this goes up to 3. Yeah, we need a lot of clues. Okay, this is gonna be really hard. I got this monster here. Okay, but before all that, we gotta do our doom. So this doom is now at 1 here. And we gotta do an encounter card. I don't like this already. Too many oozes. I don't know how anyone succeeded because this is maybe sort of like a tournament scenario. It's very difficult trying to weed out a lot of players. I think we're gonna get weeded out pretty fast. Yeah. So this may not be too fun for casual gaming. We'll see. All right, but the card I drew is Wave of Ooze. It's an attack. Revelation. I gotta test my willpower of 3. Okay, and I take a horror for each card filled by. All right, well, I'm just gonna click on it. Boom. Oh, boom. Okay, so I got this tombstone. It's a -3. Basically, I fail. So I go down to 0. So I fail by 3. Oh, Emma, I think I go insane or something. My sanity goes down to 0. Okay, green slime suddenly floods through the street, devouring everything it touches. I think I went crazy, Emma. The strangeness was too much for my mind to handle.
I'm sorry you went cuckoo.
I know, I'm cuckoo for this game. All right, so I think we're gonna end gameplay here because you're now by yourself and boy, this hunter here, this alien's gonna kill the chemist. It looks like it's gonna be a fail and loss.
Tisk.
Tisk. But we give it a try. All right, so I think you know what I think about this. It is very difficult, right? And it's for many other people. It's very complicated. Just a lot of record keeping. I think that you know how to play it now. So now that you know how to play it, I think it's a little bit easier for you. And I'm very proud of you to do so. The artwork for this set you thought was more spookier, right? Yeah. It's still wonderful to look at. But the story is really cool. You have to admit that, right, Emma?
Yes.
It's really cool with all the ooze everywhere, the sticky feet card. I think it's very fascinating. I like this idea of the chemist there being lost in the sleep and this other ooze or drone trying to hunt for it. It's very thematic. I have to give it props for having a very intriguing story. So as long as this session was, I was entertained with the story. I don't know if we'll try this again, or maybe when your brother gets older, we're going to try it with more people. But even with more investigators, I think it's going to be very difficult to pass.
Thanks for watching, everyone.
Yes, that is always appreciated. Hopefully we're entertained with our gameplay session of Arkham Horror, the Blob that ate everything. As always, keep on adventuring out there.